He broke your heart, shattered it into 1,000 pieces, made you cry until you couldn't breathe, and yet you want him back. You check his social media, you replay conversations in your head, you dream about him at night, and you hate yourself for it because your brain knows he's poison, but your heart keeps pulling you back. This isn't love. This is trauma, and your brain is addicted to it, like a drug, like a disease, like a cage you built yourself. Carla left 5 times and returned 6, not because she was weak, but because her brain had been rewired to need the pain, to crave chaos, to feel alive only when she was being destroyed. This is the story of the traumatic bond, the neurological trap that makes you love your abuser, the chemical addiction that feels like destiny, and how Carla finally broke free before her brain forgot how to live without the pain. Is your brain holding you hostage to someone who destroyed you? Let's find out. If you've ever gone back to someone who hurt you and don't understand why, sign up now. What you'll discover may finally set you free from this cycle. Carla met Marcos at a party. He was magnetic, intense, dangerous in a way that seemed thrilling. On their first dates, he was attentive, romantic. He made her feel like the most special woman in the world. "I've never felt this before," he would say, and Carla believed him because she felt it too. An electric connection, overwhelming, addictive. Within 2 weeks, they were inseparable. Marcos said she was different, that he had finally found someone who understood him. Carla felt chosen, special, unique. They spent entire days together, talking until dawn, making love as if the world were going to end. Carla had never felt so alive, so complete, so intensely loved. She introduced Marcos to our friends. Some were wary. "He's very intense, don't you think?" But Carla defended him. "It's true passion, you don't understand." But the intensity began to shift. Marcos would go hours without replying to messages. Then he'd reappear with vague excuses. "I was busy. You're too clingy. You suffocate me. I need space." And then he'd return with intense sex, with empty promises, with crumbs of affection that Carla devoured as if they were banquets. Her friends tried to warn her, "He's hurting you. Why don't you leave?" Carla would answer, crying, "I love him. I can't." And it was true. She couldn't. Not because she was weak, but because her brain had been hijacked. Weapon number 2 was destroying Carla, an addiction to relief. She wasn't addicted to Marcos, she was addicted to the relief she felt when he returned. After hours, days of high cortisol, extreme anxiety, fear of abandonment, his return was like morphine. Her brain associated Marcos with salvation, even though he was the source of the danger. It's like falling in love with the firefighter who saved you, but the firefighter was also the arsonist. Carla began to change her entire life around Marcos. She canceled appointments if he showed up. She stopped seeing people to be available. She stopped doing things she enjoyed because he criticized them. "You and your frivolous friends. Your family doesn't respect me." Carla cut ties, little by little, until only he remained. And when you only have one person, you'll do anything not to lose them, even if that person is the one killing you inside. A year later, Carla no longer recognized who she was. She lived for Marcos, for his moods, for his availability, for his will. When he was well, she existed. When he disappeared, she vanished. Carla had lost her job because she couldn't concentrate. She spent hours looking at her cell phone, waiting, always waiting. She had severe anxiety attacks, panic attacks, chronic insomnia. Her body lived in a state of permanent alert because at any moment, Marcos could disappear again, and she didn't know if he'd return. This constant uncertainty was corroding her, physically, mentally, spiritually. But she couldn't leave because the idea of living without him was more terrifying than living with the pain he caused. Weapon number 3 was operating at full steam: trauma as identity. Carla had stopped seeing herself as a separate person from Marcos. She was his girlfriend. Her emotions were reflections of his. Her worth depended on his attention. When someone asked how she was, she would answer, "It depends. Is Marcos with me or not?" She no longer had a life of her own. Marcos also began to escalate the abuse. Not just emotional. He yelled. He broke things. Once, he pushed Carla against the wall. She was left with bruises. But the next day, he cried, "I'm a monster. I don't deserve you. Forgive me." And Carla forgave him because he was suffering, because he needed her, because maybe she could save him. That's the illusion of trauma bonding. You believe you can heal the person who is destroying you. Carla's friends stopped talking to her. They had tried for months, but Carla always came back, always defended her, always found excuses. One friend made one last attempt. "Carla, he's going to kill you, literally or metaphorically. You need to leave." Carla replied angrily, "You don't understand. You've never truly loved anyone. I'm not going to abandon him when he needs me most." And the friend gave up, crying, because it's impossible to save someone who doesn't want to be saved. Carla was completely isolated, alone with Marcos, and he liked it that way, because isolated people are controllable. Isolated people have nowhere to go. They have no one to compare themselves to. They have no mirror to show the truth. Marcos had created a world where only he existed, and Carla had become his shadow. Weapon number 4. It was killing Carla. The normalization of abuse through repetition. After a year of cycles of abuse and reconciliation, Carla's brain had recalibrated what was normal. Yelling was normal. Disappearances were normal. Disrespect was normal, because it happened constantly. And when something repeats itself endlessly, your brain accepts it as the norm. It's adaptation, it's survival, but it's also imprisonment. Carla began to blame herself for everything. If I weren't so needy, he wouldn't disappear. If I were better, he wouldn't yell. It's my fault. Marcos reinforced this. You make me lose control. You provoke me. Look what you made me do. And Carla believed it, because when you're in constant trauma, you lose the ability to think clearly. You just want the pain to stop. And if taking responsibility makes the pain stop for 5 minutes, you take it. You would do anything, including destroying yourself. In 2005, neuroscientist Dr. Helen Fisher scanned the brains of people in love, and she discovered something disturbing. Romantic love activates the same areas as cocaine: the nucleus accumbens, the ventral tegmental area, the reward system. But she did another experiment. She scanned the brains of people in toxic relationships, people like Carla, and she found something even more shocking. The activation was greater than in healthy relationships. Why? Because unpredictability increases addiction. When the reward is guaranteed, the brain gets used to it. But when it's unpredictable, the brain becomes obsessed. It's the same principle as slot machines. You play, you lose, you lose, you lose, but a small win keeps you playing for hours. Marcos was Carla's slot machine, and she was completely addicted. A 2010 study from Rutgers University analyzed people who had been romantically rejected. They scanned brains while people viewed photos of the person who rejected them. The areas associated with physical pain lit up, literally. The brain doesn't differentiate between emotional and physical pain. Romantic rejection activates the same areas as breaking a bone. But there's something worse. The addiction area also lit up. The more the person suffered from the rejection, the more the brain wanted the person who caused the pain. It seems illogical, but it makes evolutionary sense. Our ancestors depended on groups to survive. Rejection meant death. So the brain developed a mechanism to make you fight desperately to win back the person who rejected you, to return to the group, to survive. This mechanism saved our ancestors, but today it's killing us because it makes us pursue those who destroy us. There's also Harry Harlow's famous experiment with baby monkeys in the 1950s. He created 2 artificial mothers, one made of wire that provided food, another made of plush that provided nothing. The babies spent most of their time clinging to the plush mother, even when hungry, even when suffering, because they needed comfort more than food. Then Harlow did something cruel. He created a mother that gave random electric shocks. The babies clung even more tightly. The more the mother hurt them, the more they clung, trying to understand, trying to fix things, trying to earn her love. This experiment explains Carla. It explains why people cling to those who hurt them. It's not masochism. It's a misdirected survival instinct. It's the brain trying to solve a problem that has no solution, trying to earn love from someone incapable of giving it. A 2018 study from Stanford University revealed something devastating about trauma bonding. They measured oxytocin levels in abuse victims. Oxytocin is the bonding hormone, released during hugs, breastfeeding, moments of connection. They found that abuse victims had higher levels of oxytocin than people in healthy relationships. Why? Because the cycle of abuse and reconciliation creates massive spikes. Pain releases cortisol, reconciliation releases oxytocin. This hormonal roller coaster creates a stronger bond than constant affection. It's perverse biology. Carla didn't love Marcos more because he was good. She loved him more because he was terrible. Because every time he came back after hurting her, her brain was flooded with attachment hormones. Stronger, more addictive, more destructive. She was neurologically trapped, and she didn't even know there was a name for it. The final collapse came brutally. Marcos disappeared. Not for hours, for 2 weeks. No message, no explanation. Carla completely collapsed. She didn't get out of bed, she didn't eat, she didn't sleep. Her body went into literal withdrawal, like an addict without their drug. She had thoughts that terrified her. Maybe it's better not to be here. Maybe without me he'll come back. Maybe I don't deserve to exist. She picked up a bottle of pills and stared at it for hours, thinking, how much would be enough? Would it be quick? Would it be painful? She was minutes away from taking it when her cell phone rang. A message from Marcos. Hi. That's all. Hi. And Carla felt such an intense wave of relief that she started to vomit. He hadn't died. He hadn't abandoned her permanently. He was alive and responding. She typed back, "Where were you? I was worried." Marcos took hours to reply. Around. Why? Carla should have felt anger. She should have blocked him. She should have realized that he had disappeared and returned as if nothing had happened. But she didn't feel anger. She felt gratitude for him having returned, for her still mattering, for her having been chosen again. Weapon number 5, in full effect. Gratitude for the crumb. Marcos had disappeared for 2 weeks. He had left Carla on the verge of suicide, and she was grateful for a high. That's what trauma bonding does. It destroys your sense of worth until you're grateful for crumbs from someone who should be giving you a banquet. They met. Marcos didn't apologize. He didn't explain. He just said, "You complicate things too much. I need lightness." And Carla agreed. "You're right. I'm sorry. I'll be better." She apologized for almost killing herself because he disappeared. She had become a ghost. That night, Carla was in the bathroom, looking in the mirror. She didn't recognize the person looking back. Too thin, deep, dark circles under her eyes. Empty eyes. She was 28 years old, but she looked 50. Marcos had sucked the life out of her, and she had let him. No, she had begged him to. She picked up her cell phone. She went to the old photos from before Marcos. She was smiling, with friends, with family. In her eyes, there was light, life, hope. That person no longer existed. Marcos had killed her, slowly, and Carla had watched, had helped, had always returned whenever she had a chance to escape. Something broke inside her, not the love for Marcos, but the hatred for herself. She realized if she didn't leave now, she would die, literally or metaphorically. She would disappear completely, and Marcos would move on to the next one without looking back. Carla did something she had never done before. She called her former therapist. She said 3 words, "I need help." The therapist told her to come immediately. That night, Carla went and poured everything out. The therapist listened and said, "You are suffering from trauma bonding. Your brain has been hijacked, but it can be freed." She explained the neuroscience: dopamine, oxytocin, cortisol. Carla cried. So it's not love? No, it's addiction. Weapon number 6, the confusion between love and chemical dependency. The therapist gave Carla a list. Block him everywhere, now, in front of me. Carla hesitated. What if he needs me? He doesn't need you. He uses you. There's a difference. Carla blocked him, her hands trembling, and in the following days, she went into real withdrawal, sweating, nausea, insomnia, a desperate desire to unblock him. But the therapist had warned her, it will hurt, like any detox, but it will pass if you don't go back. Carla didn't go back. 6 months later, she saw Marcos on the street with another girl. The girl was thin, with dark circles under her eyes, empty eyes. She recognized her. The same pattern, the same destruction. She thought about warning him, but she didn't have the strength. So she did what she could. She kept walking, and she was grateful to have escaped before becoming just another statistic, just another discarded emotional body, just another life wasted on someone who never loved her. Let's name what happened to Carla. These are the 6 neurological weapons that make your brain cling to the person who hurts you. Weapon number 1, the cycle of rejection and reconciliation. He hurts you, he disappears, he comes back. Your brain releases massive amounts of dopamine upon his return, stronger than any healthy relationship. You become addicted to the relief, not to him, to the relief he brings after creating the pain. Weapon number 2, addiction to relief. You don't love the person, you love the end of the suffering they cause, like loving a kidnapper who releases you for 5 minutes. It's chemical Stockholm syndrome. Your brain confuses savior with torturer because they're the same person. Weapon number 3, trauma as identity. You cease to exist apart from him. Your emotions are reflections of him. Your worth depends on him. You no longer have a life. You only survive around him. Weapon number 4, normalization of abuse through repetition. When something happens constantly, your brain accepts it as normal. Shouting, disappearances, disrespect, pain. It becomes the pattern.
And you stop fighting, because that is your reality now. Weapon number 5, gratitude for the crumb. He treats you like trash for weeks. He says hi to you, and you say thank you. That's not love. It's the destruction of your sense of worth until you accept nothing and call everything. Weapon number 6, confusion between love and chemical dependency. You think it's love, but it's oxytocin, dopamine, cortisol. It's chemistry, it's addiction, it's trauma bonding, and it feels so real you swear it's destiny. But destiny doesn't leave you wanting to die. Science explains everything. Dr. Helen Fisher proved that toxic relationships activate areas of addiction more than healthy ones. Unpredictability is addictive. Rutgers studies show that rejection activates areas of physical pain and addiction. You suffer and want more. Harlow's experiment with monkeys showed the more the mother hurt, the more the babies clung, trying to fix things, trying to earn love. Carla did the same. Stanford research reveals that abuse victims have higher levels of oxytocin. The cycle creates a stronger bond than constant affection. It's perverse, but it's real. Carla wasn't weak. She was human, with a brain that was hacked, but she escaped, and you can too. Here are 3 lessons that could save your life. Lesson number 1, if you always go back to the person who hurts you, it's not love. It's trauma bonding. Love doesn't make you beg. It doesn't make you feel small. It doesn't make you grateful for crumbs. If you feel like you're going to die without the person, you're not in love. You're experiencing chemical withdrawal, and you need detoxification, not reconciliation. Lesson number 2, block completely. No exceptions. Not just one number, everything. Social media, phone, email, physical locations. because a crumb of contact is enough to restart the addiction. Like an alcoholic taking one sip, you're back to square one. The block isn't anger, it's survival. Lesson number 3. Seek professional help specializing in trauma. Trauma bonding doesn't heal on its own. You need someone who understands neuroscience, someone who knows how to guide you through withdrawal, someone who reminds you who you were because you've forgotten, and alone you might not remember in time. Today, Carla helps women leave traumatic relationships. She tells her story, without shame, without romanticizing it. She says, "I didn't leave because I became strong. I left because I almost died, and I realized I'd rather die trying to live than live dying little by little." Marcos tried to contact her dozens of times. "I've changed. I miss you. Nobody understands me like you do." Carla didn't answer because she knew the story doesn't change, only the characters, and she refused to be just another disposable chapter in his life. The girl Carla saw on the street ended up contacting her months later. "You were right, he is exactly what you said." And Carla helped because she remembers the pain and how much it's worth to be free. If you're reading this and feel you can't leave, understand it's not a lack of strength, it's brain chemistry. But chemistry can be rebalanced, addiction can be broken, trauma can be healed. Your brain can relearn to live without pain, but only if you cut off the source, completely, now, before it's too late. If this story made you realize you're trapped in a cycle, do 3 things now. First, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. We expose the psychological mechanisms that bind you to what destroys you. Second, scroll down to the comments and tell me, have you ever been addicted to someone toxic, or are you still? Your story could be the push someone needs to break free. And third, watch the next video now, not tomorrow, now. Because the more you learn about how your brain was hijacked, the closer you are to freeing it. Every week, we bring you real stories of emotional addiction, trauma bonding, and full recovery. The next story could literally be about you. Don't go away, because knowledge is the first dose of the antidote, and you just took yours.